Hello, Zelda 1 Randomizer fans, and welcome to another exciting matchup in the group stage of the 2023 Rookie Rumble. Tonight's race between Tabby Orange and bommy819. I'm Nick Has a Game, joined in the commentator's booth by everyone's favorite punctilious tuber, Pedantic Potato.
Good evening, Nick.
Both these racers are entering tonight's contest at 1-0. That's going to change at some point in the next hour or two. What are you hoping to see out of this race tonight, Pedantic?
Well, I would like to see a chain reaction seed where you have to get one item to get another item to get to a Triforce, that type of thing. But I hope that we don't have something where it's 20 rooms of Wizrobes. I do not want to see that for these runners.
I, too, am also a fan of not too challenging of combat. I want to see some interesting exploration and solving the mystery more than just getting slammed by blue Wizzies over and over again.
Yeah, every seed is different, that's for sure, and that's the excitement of it. But some of them are just annoying, and some are a lot of fun. So let's hope it lands in the middle.
Of our two racers tonight, Tabby is the more experienced racer, has both vanilla Z1 any percent and Zelda 2 100% all keys racing in his history. And he did put in a showing in last year's Rookie Rumble, as we are starting at this lake spot on not Candle Row, the other lake spot, and heading into the forest for both our runners.
So while they are doing some searching, I guess I could talk a little bit about the flags that they're going to experience here. Oh, wow. Nice early candle for Tabby. So this Rookie Rumble flag set has a First Quest Overworld, so not too many spots to check. We have Shapes Dungeons, which we'll see when we get to those. So it's going to be pretty exciting searching those out. As we saw, we have extra candles, and as Bommy just showed us, the white sword item is the white sword. So as soon as they get between 4 and 6 hearts, they'll be able to pick that up.
Very interesting early discoveries for both our runners, but Bommy has made a beeline for the coast and missed that early take any that Tabby Orange grabbed a candle out of, and now Tabby Orange is up here in the northeast checking this Armo spot.
And tracking all these locations for us is Smile Fires, so thank you very much for doing that job.
Bommy finds an early level 8 with a couple of doors and says, no, I'll come back later.
I was talking over what was happening. There was an early bow, did I hear? Was that an Armos bow?
Yes, it was, as Tabby finds the any roads immediately after, but does not finish exploring them before taking an unfortunate death. But it looks like one of those he's cleared his start spot. Finds a potion spot that'll be useful later, as Bommy's trying to head towards Vanilla 2. But those Octoroks are giving her a little bit of a hassle.
Yeah, there's certain spots like that it's always a question of, for me at least, whether I should try to check them early or not, because you might take a death on that. But that was pretty close to the start spot, so not a big deal.
A couple of our any roads tonight lead up into Death Mountain, as Bommy is here in level 4, finds a manhandler, walks right past to find some blue Gurias, and that's going to shut her down and likely send her... Oh, she's going to try one of the other holes.
Yeah, I mean, when you got that many open doors, it doesn't take that long to check, though that looks like there isn't so far away through to anything.
Here's level 6 and a free key on the floor for Tabby.
And maybe a free item. Guess we'll see real soon. Nope, just a transport staircase. So one thing we might see when Bommy gets to the take any is she will have a choice. She knows where the white sword is, so she could take the gamble that the white sword is more important than the candle, take that heart, and hope that heart unlocks the white sword.
I've seen that happen in a couple of races in this tournament, and in those cases, it's actually paid off pretty well for the runners, but if you end up with a white sword that needs 6 hearts, you could find yourself depriving yourself of a useful tool in the meantime.
Very true. Very true. Usually, I think you'd maybe, well, it's a gamble either way, but if you saw a few more spots, then you might be better equipped to make that choice.
He's going to go ahead and get her bow out of this Armos spot.
Now, with that early bow, that's going to be making both of them think, well, if I could save up some money, I could buy arrows, then I'd have offense.
That might also give Bommy a little more insurance in taking the heart, because if she comes up short on a weapon, she might just be able to pick up arrows to hold her for a little bit while she finds a sword.
Very true.
Bommy is a little bit of a newer runner to Z1R, has put in some impressive times against new and veteran racers alike during practice, and she's also gained some valuable experience participating in Battle Royale competitions, which you can check out on the official Z1R Discord.
Those battle royales are a lot of fun. You get a chance to, compete against people, but usually they're async, a lot of them, so it's not as much time pressure. You can usually do them when you want. And of course, each of those battle royales typically has oh my god, there's a book on the floor there that Tabby just found in level 6.
That's pretty huge. That's going to give Tabby maps for every single level from here on out.
Yeah, I used to. So if it's vanilla levels, who cares about the book? But in these cases with these shapes, that can save you so many bombs.
Meanwhile, Bommy is heading in the general direction of start, still hoping to find a wood sword here. Could it be where the wood sword usually lives? Not tonight.
Right. Well, Bommy continues looking. There's level 3 has been found.
A bunch of early levels here in the first 5 minutes of tonight's race, but our racer's still so far lacking a little bit of armament to make much progress.
Oh, so this room Bommy just walked through is really, really interesting because it's a staircase room in level 3. There's a good chance there's the item there. But to get into it, you would need to do a swordless clip, something I personally cannot do. So could be a powerful item, but we won't know for a while.
And those whiz robes would make that even harder.
Yes, exactly. Malchior believes it's an early staircase, though. Maybe in another 10 minutes we'll find out.
Tabby, meanwhile, found a large secret of 127 up in the northeast corner.
That could buy you some arrows.
The medium secret also rolling up.
Or it's a down payment on blue ring. That's another choice these runners have to make. Are they going to go for the offense or the defense?
I know Bommy saw a blue ring just a minute ago, as here's a cave with some expensive bombs, but Bommy says, you know what, I need some sort of weapon, really. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a set.
And if you save before you use the bombs, you can kind of just do a little run around, bomb 4 spots. And if none of them are valuable, just reset your game and then go bomb 4 different spots. So you can get a lot of value out of 4 bombs.
Yet another early level here at the Lake Armos spot, level 5.
Oh, that gauntlet there. I don't know that Bommy's going to be able to make it through without a weapon. Although, again, that's probably just going to turn out to have been a transport staircase, not an actual item. But you never know.
Yeah, level 5 comes with one of those by default, whereas that early one in level 3 has got a... As here's level 8 for Tabby, we find out level 8 is segmented and quite lengthy at that in both segments. That's going to be a lot of walking that our runners might have to do tonight.
And not just walking, a lot of potential key needs, right? Because there's only a single path through most of that. I'd say that 8, to me, looks like some sort of construction site with a big crane there.
Bommy, breezing through a lot of quick overworld exploration, finds mags at Vanilla 3, as there's a hint from Tabby that level 9 is by a lake.
All right. Well, oh my God. Do you see what I see on
An
Tabby's screen?
enormous find in level 8 on the floor, just sitting there for free. Tabby now has everything he needs to take on Ganon, minus a sword.
He'll find one of those eventually.
But in the meantime, that big wad of cash that Tabby found earlier is going to be put to good use here in this easier enemy set. Pedantic, tell our viewers about the enemy sets that we're going to be seeing here tonight.
Well, for this randomization, we have the enemy sets are basically the stock enemy sets, but they are slightly randomized. They're switched between the levels. So enemies that are in a dungeon will only be seen in a dungeon. Enemies in the overworld will only be seen in the overworld. So that could be another couple levels with Wizrobes. We'll find out.
Tabby walking out of level 8, but gets momentarily bopped back in by a blue moblin who says, "Are you sure you don't want to keep going in there?"
And Bommy found that Takeny Cave and now has a candle. No, Jewess, the bow was actually the Armos item. So, I mean, it looks like Tabby's got, pretty, we said all the tools he needs, but that may not be true at all. There could still be levels that are recorder blocked, or power bracelet blocked, or raft blocked. We don't know yet.
Bommy taking the long walk up the Lost Hills to Vanilla level 5. Meanwhile, Tabby's in 4, fights off a manhandler and gets a floor heart as a reward.
One more heart towards that white sword, I mean.
Although Tabby hasn't made it to the coast yet to find that it's there.
But at this rate, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you can get all your hearts before you get there, then it's a nice surprise.
For sure, as Bommy buys another pack of expensive bombs, looks like she wants to continue exploring near Death Mountain after she's done with this Lost Hills area, and she is going to try to get by this nasty screen with Lionels. Unfortunately, the Lionels have swords and she does not.
I think the one thing she could have tried there is, and she probably forgot she had just picked up that candle, but if you have the candle, you can do a candle boost where you take damage from the candle and use that invincibility it gives you for, I don't know how long, quarter of a second or whatever, to run through the Lionels.
We've both seen some amazing runners pull off some incredible things with candle boosts, but you have to imagine in the heat of the moment, some of these rookies might forget some of the things like that, as Bommy is going to use those bombs to find a hint cave here on the coast. It would cost about 80 to run all of them.
Normally everyone would say 12 minutes in, it's a great time to find all the secrets. It would tell you maybe where the bow is, where the silvers are. We, of course, already know where those are. So those hints are probably a lot less useful.
Bommy takes the any roads up to the northeast, finds level 6, and says, "I'll come back later." Speaking of candles, here's a red one in the staircase of level 4 for Tabby. That's probably not quite what Tabby was hoping for.
Though, a red candle is repeatable offense that doesn't cost any rupees. So when you don't have a sword, a red candle is one of the next best things.
True that, as we've seen Tabby's fortune get slowly whittled away as he is relying almost 100% on these silver arrows for offense. And speaking of money, over on Bommy's side, Bommy has found a couple of quick, large secrets and is at very nearly at max. You have to be wondering if she might be thinking blue ring, arrows, something a little more aggressive than just bombs and a candle.
I think that would be great to watch. You know, one runner with silver is one runner with a blue ring before either gets a sword. This is a very unique seed.
Bommy finds another level 2, up here in the northeast. That's all our levels discovered except for 1, 7, and 9 so far, as Bommy, sure enough, picks up that blue ring as Tabby takes the Triforce out of level 4.
And now with that blue ring, that makes some of those Lionel screens a lot easier to make your way through without dying. So maybe we'll see another run at that screen. I think probably what Bommy is hoping for here is that opening all these locked caves will hopefully, unlock more take-any's to give her more hearts so she can go pick up that white sword. Unfortunately, the game does not seem to be playing nice in that way.
And Bommy, after spending all that money, found the other hint cave at the lakeside cave here in the northeast, which Tabby also just found. Tabby is the one who has the money to run those hints, whereas Bommy is back to the start in accumulating funds.
Very, very interesting start to the game.
Now, if Bommy saves up a little bit of cash and decides to run those hints, and it pays off with a silvers hint pointing her at 8, she might find those silvers pretty quickly since they were sitting in floor. As finally, Bommy, our first runner to find the wood sword cave here at 15 minutes in, it's up in Death Mountain.
That is nice. Now she can get to work on some of those levels she's found.
Well, she's probably also thinking, I still only have 3 hearts. Let's hopefully find an easy one to start us off.
That is true. But with the blue ring, that adds quite a bit of cushion, though.
It's like she has 6 hearts.
And, with how much Tabby is using all that money for arrows, Tabby, I don't think, is going to be able to as easily afford that blue ring.
Speaking of blue ring, Tabby has to look longingly as he is about $20 shy of it.
Although the good news for the runners on the money front is, although Bommy doesn't know this yet, there's no reason to buy the wood arrows. They're not required to get the silver arrows. And it seems like keys are pretty plentiful. Probably won't need to buy keys. But it's probably too early to say that, for sure.
You can always hope. When you find 3 keys with minimal effort, you hope that there's plenty more right behind those first key doors you find. But we still haven't found level 1, which, as we've seen many times, loves to suck up keys.
Especially if it looks anything like these other levels that are all strung out and only have one route through them. Alright, so Tabby was able to get to the top of the waterfall using those silver arrows. Didn't look like anything too important there. And that's one of those things you gotta hate when you take a death on a screen and it's like the top of the waterfall where it's out of your way and you're going, is it worth my time to go back there? Did I just miss a super important item? But Bommy knows that's not the case because she knows where the white sword is. She picked up the wood sword. She's already got the Armos item. So I think she knows that the most important thing that could be at the top of the waterfall is a take any or another level. And she can come back to that later.
Tabby picking up a couple of hints. One of them was about the wand and having to step over some water to pick that up. Another hint, just an offer to view some Pokemon. And a third hint that the raft will not be required tonight.
That's good news for our runners.
Bommy has chosen level 4 with its Guria set as the first one to suffer at the blade of her wood sword.
Not as
Tabby
fast
having...
as using the silver arrows, but still effective.
True, true. Tabby having run those hints up and A's, retries, resets, gets that money back. And immediately heads for the other hint cave.
Looked like those hints were not too important.
Couple minutes invested, no huge payoff other than letting our Tabby know that a raft will not necessarily be valuable tonight. The other potentially useful hint, if Tabby hasn't seen the coast spot, is that it's going to be a heart container there.
All right, question from chat, or is there an audio problem or something? As far as we're aware, we didn't know about an audio glitch. Sorry.
Tabby decides to pull the trigger on that blue ring after all, wisely investing that cash on attempts on the hints first, running back to pick up the blue ring, and still in search of a sword here, as he is nowhere near the Death Mountain location he's going to need to find that wood sword.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out if 4 hearts is enough for the white sword at some point.
Tabby does not have kind words for that merchant.
Yeah, I don't think you get a discount by attacking the merchant. So probably not worth doing.
Bommy grabs her red candle out of level 4.
All right, not as valuable since she has a sword, but you know, there's still some times where certain enemies, like I guess I'd say likes when you got them in a corner, you can use both the red candle and your sword together. And Tabby skips that key in that danger room there in level 3.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him. Oh, nope, he goes back for it.
And now we can see for sure that that's segmented.
A beautiful clip by Tabby to get past those Wizrobes into this segment staircase. There's going to be 3 segments here in level 3 tonight.
Yeah, that clip is key. I mean, if you can't pull off that clip, you'd have to fight through the Wizrobes.
Bommy presses on here in level 4. If she keeps going, she'll have her first Triforce here in short order.
And Tabby, meanwhile, working his way through level 3. Here's another room that perhaps could have an item, I believe.
Chat pointing out that Bommy unfortunately missed the heart container that would have been picked up off the floor, and that means she's going to probably keep digging here a little bit. But that was earlier in level 4. And she takes a look and sees she's missing a couple of rooms on the way.
Tabby is being... Oh, this could be the item. Or this could be the transport to the other section. We'll find out. Either way, Tabby is out of money, and lucky that this red candle is free to use, and that these enemies are vulnerable to fire.
But it is taking Tabby a good amount of time to clear this pancake room, just to find another segment staircase.
Oof. Nice clear of a manhandler using bombs there by Bommy. Tabby is, I think, probably trying to decide whether it's worth clearing this room or spending the key. So he's, and first Triforce pickup for Bommy. They are now equal, 1 Triforce each.
She's going to pop back in here because she is missing an item. It's just going to turn out to be a heart, so she should find it fairly quickly here, as Tabby finds his own floor heart after clearing out that room.
Yeah, so that's a big advantage Tabby has. Knowing that he's already got the silvers, he can kind of jet through a bunch of these other levels without even worrying about the items if he doesn't think he needs them.
And just a heart container in the staircase in 3. That's 2 hearts in level 3.
Very healthy level.
Tabby decides to leave the Triforce behind. Can't say I blame him for that decision, as he will come back when he has some tools to get back through that level 3 a little faster.
Certainly a good choice, because the Triforce, you need it to get to level 9, but other than that, it serves no purpose. So when you have no sword, yeah, spend your time looking for the sword.
And it's still going to be a little bit for Tabby. If he continues on this course into the Dead Woods, it eventually will lead him up into Death Mountain, where he will finally find his wood sword.
Meanwhile, Bommy is looking at level 2, but that appears to be a ladder block.
Unless there's some way to bomb around it, but without a map.
Oh yeah, I think Tabby was in level 2 before, and I forgot to pay attention. So again, that early item pickup by Tabby of that Atlas could not be more valuable. Alright, so Bommy is now back on the hunt, probably trying to find that level 1.
And meanwhile, Tabby's over here in level 5, another somewhat linear level.
Interesting. This could be... Oh, there is a nice candle boost, and of course with the red candle you can multi-candle boost yourself. So with a blue candle you can only do 1 candle boost, and then that's it. Oh, it's just a transport staircase.
Still a very impressive play by Tabby to remain in a level yet longer, despite still lacking a sword 26 minutes into this seed.
Looks like Tabby knows that there could be a drop in this room, and is, well, there was, just for bombs though.
Speaking of bombs, it looks like Bommy wants a pack of her own, but comes up empty on that screen. Wisely leaves and comes back and finds bomb droppers have taken the place of those enemies who wouldn't drop bombs. Sadly, they don't give her any.
Meanwhile, Tabby picks up yet another heart, this one from the dungeon in level 5.
The seed very generous to Tabby in the opening moments, but since then has been rather stingy in providing much of any other useful items for him to continue his quest here, especially the long-awaited sword.
Well, now that he's got 7 hearts, he should know that, you know, when he finds the white sword, he can pick it up. So I think if I was in his shoes, I'd probably prioritize finding that white sword now.
He might be thinking both our swords up in Death Mountain. Little does he know, the white sword is free for the taking in an open cave on the coast.
Very good point.
Meanwhile, Bommy is in level 1, a very small level 1 today.
Wow. Yeah, there's, what is it, like every other room is going to have some sort of drop? If you count up, Triforce and map and compass and the 3 items, etc.
And she
However,
has the tool to get it done in the form of a white sword. And here is the item staircase for Bommy.
or bracelet.
The croissant. I think with levels 7 and 9 still outstanding, there's always a chance it could be hiding under one of our 4 power bracelet spots.
Very true. And there's the Triforce, but we don't want that yet.
Bommy probably hoping for the silvers to go with that bow, but little does she know it's actually in level 8.
And as you predicted, this level is eating all of those keys.
As Tabby finds mags at vanilla 3, it was a floor heart in level 1. There's one more floor item in here somewhere.
Bommy's got to decide if it's worth using that key or not. And she decides it is, and let's see what the item is. Oh, the recorder. That is very useful. It may not be required, but by the fact that it lets you bounce around between the levels you've completed, that can save you a lot of walking time. And of course, there could be Dig Dogger locked rooms later on in the seed.
Meanwhile, Tabby's out of dungeons, continuing overworld exploration, makes it to this southwest corner, doesn't find anything useful. Once he's finished in the dead woods here, you have to imagine he's thinking Death Mountain might hold his sword, as we're across the 30-minute mark. He's got to start to be getting anxious here.
Yeah, he's making impressive progress with his sword, but he'd be making more progress with the sword, I think.
This could give Bommy a few critical minutes to start pulling ahead here, as she is now up 2 Triforces to 1. She's seen a fair number of our level locations, but she's going to keep going on the overworld for a little bit.
So yes, there could be dungeons under the power bracelet spots or the flute spot. But there's only one flute spot, so the likelihood of that is pretty low, but the power bracelet does seem to come into play a lot more than that.
Now, Bommy hasn't seen the hint that the raft is not required tonight, but that means that she will have everything to access every dungeon location.
And I see she's running towards that white sword. We'll find out very soon if 5 hearts is enough or if it requires 6. And 5 is enough. Bommy has the white sword. Tabby has the silver arrows.
2 swords to none, the count tonight, and that is going to be a critical advantage, although Tabby is only a couple screens away from his wood sword.
Alright, so Bommy now whistled back to one of the levels that she had completed, and is now, I believe, continuing her overworld exploration.
Finally, 32 minutes and 36 seconds into the seed, and Tabby finally has a pointy, stabby, sticky tool.
Alright. And there's level 9 in the forgotten spot. And Tabby's taking a look around and refilling his hearts and is back out to explore.
Bommy, equipped with a white sword, is going to head into this whiz robe at level 3, and she's going to give it a go.
Yeah, certainly you want to clear this room and find out if there's anything valuable here. The compass, unfortunately, Bommy, not having the book, doesn't know that this is segmented, as Tabby did. So now Bommy's going to have to take a stab, literally, at this room here. Hopefully she can make a block clip happen. If not, she's using bomb strats to try to kill, and that was incredibly well done.
Bommy, using bombs very wisely, she's going to hop into this staircase to find a segment stair. And she's going to press on here in level 3 as she ends up in the room next to the Triforce room, but it's going to take a little bit to reach it. As Tabby picks up the letter out of Vanilla 1.
Hopefully there'll be enough keys in this level 3 to help replenish Bommy's key count so she can tackle some of the other dungeons. So slightly different weapon outfit here. Bommy has the red candle and the white sword, whereas Tabby was using the red candle and the silver arrows when he was here previously.
Now, as this seed progresses and Tabby is now equipped with a sword, you have to wonder if that early silver find is going to give him an advantage, as he does not necessarily need to dig dungeons quite so much as Bommy does. And if Bommy follows some conventional wisdom, she might dig the smaller dungeons first.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that knowledge really gives Tabby a leg up here. But that knowledge alone does not, guarantee anything. So we'll see how it all goes.
Now, Tabby found level 1, but immediately left, and is now heading in the direction of the white sword. Tabby's going to get his second sword here in just a matter of a couple minutes. Difference between getting his first one.
Good points in chat. Yeah, we know that the ladder is required. Tabby knows for sure the ladder is required. I think Bommy probably suspects it. She tried bombing around it, and I think there were not many places more that could be bombed. So she's probably made the assumption that the ladder is required. Tabby not happy with that screen of enemies and resets back to start again. And probably, now I see, was to force a bomb drop. Very good strategy.
Meanwhile, Bommy is continuing to traverse these staircases in 3. She's probably starting to get a little frustrated finding segment stairs because she does not have the map to tell her that level 3 is triple segmented.
Very good point. When she finds 6, or when she actually digs 6 and finds that, she's going to be unhappy as she did not find it earlier. And because she doesn't know how this is structured, she's going, do I spend my bombs? Do I spend my one remaining key? It's a tough choice to make when we don't have the information of the map.
And it's interesting that it was a couple of quick dips into higher level dungeons without a sword that has given Tabby his 2 big advantages over Bommy here in the early silvers and early map book find. And they're going to really start paying dividends here as Bommy is having to kind of find her way through the dark of these dungeons.
Certainly that was very skillful by Tabby, but also damn lucky.
To answer a question in chat, we actually do have Heart Shuffle on in this, although a lot of our hearts have been on the floor tonight. We've seen a couple that have taken up residence in Staircase in lieu of items. But level 3 is going to be a double heart dungeon, as Tabby finds his power bracelet in level 1.
To answer a question in chat, not just the item locations are randomized, the actual layout of the levels is also randomized. So this is what is known in the settings for the Zelda Randomizer as Shapes Dungeons. And as you can see over on Tabby's screen where he has the map for this level, you can see that one randomized to kind of a compact block. But you will see when we get to the other levels that some of them are very elongated.
Tabby also nabbing his recorder at a level 1. He's also going to find the final item is a floor heart, and he's going to race back, grab that Triforce, and he is on to another dungeon. Still, he's quickly picking up speed and has regained a lot of ground that he lost going swordless for so long.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down now to, the long term is going to come down to that ladder, as we talked about. Yes, we are ladder blocked in level 2. We can't go anywhere in level 2, so that's 2 items and a Triforce we need. So where's ladder? We don't know where the ladder is.
Each of our runners might have their own different ideas about where the ladder could be tonight. Bommy has some good mathematical reasons to think it's in level 8, as she hasn't seen any of the items out of level 8. Tabby has dipped quickly into level 8, found the silver arrows, still has 2 items outstanding out of there.
Very well could be. Maybe 8 has the, all the important items. So the ladder cannot be, well, in some randomizer settings, yes, the ladder could be in the overworld at the white sword spot or at the Armos spot. But in this case, we have the white sword spot fixed to always be the white sword in the Rookie Rumble, and the Armos spot has already been checked. So no, the ladder cannot be in the overworld.
Bommy continuing her overworld exploration, she finds level 5 and says, I'll dig it while I'm here. Let's see what she's going to find in this one.
That's a smart move. It's one of the smaller dungeons.
Meanwhile, Tabby back out on the overworld, putting that power bracelet to good use, but so far isn't finding anything new and exciting other than some money.
Normally money could be exciting, but there's not really anything more other than a potion that these two need to buy. Well, Bommy might want some keys. I guess now they look at it, Tabby might want some keys too.
Bommy using some good safety strats to clear out the dark nuts from the spiral stair room that Tabby earlier discovered just as a segment staircase. And Tabby's going to go ahead and pick up a potion. Not a bad choice to make at this point. Hopefully won't have to use it. But with a couple of Wizrobe dungeons still outstanding, we still could have some trouble ahead.
Yeah, it's usually the bigger dungeons where you want to come in with that potion so that if you, are 20 rooms in and you just got 2 more rooms to explore, it's better to use the potion and finish your exploration than potentially die and have to restart the whole thing.
And Tabby has located the last dungeon of the night. It is level 7 and it is power bracelet blocked. Both are runners with a power bracelet. So it is inevitable that Bommy will find it eventually under that power bracelet spot in the northeast corner. And what an interesting looking level 7 this is.
Did you see that was a useless segment? It actually didn't bomb into the rest of it, so it's actually even more segmented than we see.
A quick floor heart grab in 7 for Tabby.
Well, it's going to be interesting if something's under this Goma.
It pushes.
Oh, wow. So the ladder is arrow blocked. So that means you either have to have picked up those silvers or bought the wood arrows. Luckily, Bommy bought the wood arrows. So when she gets there, she will also be prepared to get the ladder.
The bigger dungeons tonight holding 2 key items, level 7 with the ladder, level 8 with the silvers. Bommy, meanwhile, has been sticking to the smaller, lower numbered dungeons, and that could mean Tabby's going to maintain a huge advantage here, as he has now found everything that he's going to need to unlock the rest of this seed.
Well, I asked for a chain reaction seed. We got it.
Sure enough, and you are the one who rolled this, so it's all your fault.
That is true. So
And
now
Bommy,
I think that was a key Bommy picked up, right?
yeah, and in good time too, because she was out of keys as she immediately walks into a room that presents a shutter door and a key door.
And there's a raft that Bommy cannot get to without a ladder, but we know from the hints the raft is not required. But I don't know that Bommy knows that.
Bommy has not seen any of the hints tonight, and I believe she's still got a couple of dungeons outstanding. She might be worried that she needs that raft later.
And with that, Bommy picks up the Triforce 5, makes a note, presumably on her tracker, saying, I might need that raft later, and is moving on. And hopefully, oh, nope, now she's back in 5, I guess, looking for the other item there.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be one of the required items. It could be a utility item, maybe an any key or a red ring. But she needs to be heading to 7 or 8 if she wants to start making some progress in now catching up with Tabby, who in the last 10 minutes has turned this around from a dire lack of sword to finding all the key items.
Very much so. He's found the right order for this seed.
Question in chat, Bommy is actually on blue ring now, I believe, and is using the random tunic colors.
Both players here are doing an incredible job with their combat. There's rooms with these blue dark nuts and blue wardrobes. They're both taking them down like it's nothing. Very impressive.
Yeah, nothing's slowing these runners down. It's just a matter of what items they're finding. Tabby, again, with a couple of big advantages, and those maps that Tabby found very early on are proving to be absolutely critical to help navigate some of these quite crazy-looking dungeons tonight. I can't imagine getting around this level 7 without a map.
No, that'd be terrible. You'd assume it's, there's some spots to bomb, and you'd waste so many bombs.
Bommy is looks like she's bailing out of level 5. I think she left a key door behind. Unfortunately, she is out of keys.
So, did we talk about the standings in this group before?
Not sure, but both these runners have entered tonight's contest at 1-0. That's going to change sometime here in the next hour or so.
So one of them, take first in their group, probably based on this, because they'll be at 2-0 after this, or at least very strong contender for that. But even if they don't, there's still a last chance qualifier that they could use to enter the bracket stage. I think both these runners are showing incredibly strong performance, so I expect great things out of both of them. And I just talked over Tabby seeing the wood boomerang there in level 2. And Tabby was not interested in picking up that boomerang.
He does knock out this Dig Dogger, pushes the block, and as we can see, there is a segment in level 2. It's a little subtle, but it is there. All these segment dungeons tonight making that book of maps extraordinarily valuable.
And we'll soon see. I guess Tabby's not really looking for the other item in 2. He's just basically looking for the Triforce, which, of course, that compass will be helpful for him to find.
And it's going to point him to that segment. He's going to run back there.
Yeah, at this point, there's, I mean, the any key would be a nice find, but he's doing well on keys. He probably doesn't need that to complete the seed.
To answer a question in chat, Bommy did see, I believe, both 6 and 8. Definitely saw 8, but dipped out of them very, very quickly early on without a sword. If she had pressed on, though, in 8, she would have found those silvers, and then she also could have found that map in 6. And that could be the difference tonight, as we have some wild dungeons, lots of segments, and Tabby is working through them very quickly and efficiently, saving a lot of bombs and keys that Bommy, unfortunately, is having to spend.
Meanwhile, Bommy has now picked up the ladder and is able to buy potions from the, I don't remember which person is selling them today, but someone is. The red ring could be useful for these runners, but they've been doing pretty much just fine with the blue ring. I don't think the red ring would affect their speed that much at this point, unless we get some really nasty 8 blue Wizrobe room or something like that.
Tabby returns to level 6 up here in the northeast corner. Already pulled the book out of here earlier and has been making incredible use of it. At this point, he's probably just digging for Triforces and ready to hop into level 9 as soon as he has the rest.
Dark Nuts and Pole's Voice, not the most fun, but definitely far from the worst combination you can have. At least there's no bubbles to take away your sword. That's where it would really get annoying.
Speaking of level 9, Bommy makes it to the forgotten spot, finds her level 9 for later, and she's going to continue on up into Death Mountain.
You know, the whole question of whether you dig the large levels first or hold them off till last is always a point of debate. And sometimes it works out one way, sometimes the other.
I believe she's seen all the dungeons at this point except for 7, which was under that power bracelet spot on the other side of Hyrule. And if she wants to get past the ladder block we saw earlier, she's going to need to make it there eventually.
And Tabby finds the compass, which will lead him to the Triforce, which is 1 room away.
Tabby, he's not even going to see half of level 6 before he gets his Triforce. He's done there. He's only got 3 left to find.
So with that, I believe Tabby now has a 1 Triforce lead. Although this really shows you that 2 runners approach the levels in different order, because they have not the same set of Triforces.
Bommy finds these hints on the coast, runs 1 and doesn't get anything useful. She does not have enough on her to run both at the same time.
and hopefully I did not see if she saved before that. Meanwhile, Tabby is working through this awkward level 8. He found the silvers here earlier, and now he's trying to find the Triforce.
Now with this map of level 8, he's hoping it's hopefully coming up in a room real soon. Otherwise, he's got maybe a long walk ahead of him, as it is a fairly linear level 8. Very uncommon shape for it to take, as usually it's just a big cohesive blob.
Interesting, that did not bomb up. Did he try bombing up to the left? Okay, there is a way up. Otherwise, it was going to be another segment. And Bommy finds the silvers. That is nice. Now she doesn't have to worry about looking for those. Just looking for the ladder.
Now she knows 2 is ladder blocked. She may keep digging for items here in 8, hoping to find that ladder, but unfortunately for her, it's in 7. And if the Triforce comes up here quickly, Tabby might bail out of 8 much sooner than Bommy ends up.
We will soon find out.
And you called it earlier, but sure enough, there is a segment there, a sub-segment in the segment, as that room did not bomb up.
This feed has a lot of tricks for these runners.
Fortunately for Bommy, she has found the map of level 8 itself to guide her on her way. And she's going to find the same thing that Tabby found a minute ago, that she cannot bomb up into those last 3 rooms of the lower right segment. She's going to hop in this staircase, head to the big segment, and keep on digging.
This seed is definitely delivering. Oh, we still haven't found a compass. It could be that Triforce is all the way in the upper right, the end of the crane there.
And 2 branches in this segment here. Do you go right first? Do you go down first?
I think we're seeing about equal room clearing by each runner here, because they're equally equipped with weapons and armor right now. And there's that shoot room again. But it's worth clearing it to find out if there's an item there, even though you would have to come at it from the side to pick up the item, but there's no item. Both runners deciding to take the same route through this, so we get to see rooms multiple times. Good point from chat. They already picked up the floor items, so that means Bommy, once she finds the Triforce, can stop clearing out every room. And there's the Triforce. But keep searching and instead just look for rooms with push blocks.
Now Tabby will probably find this Triforce in short order as he reaches the end of this lower branch just to find a key under the Gliok. Probably was hoping for the Triforce, but assuming he doesn't leave any rooms behind, he's going to have his Triforce out of 8 here in just a matter of seconds. Bommy, meanwhile, is out of bombs, leaves 8 to pick up a few more and hops right back in.
That's a smart move, remembering that there were bombs right outside of the level.
And sure enough, Tabby does find that Triforce. He's going to be done in 8. He only has 2 Triforces left, but Bommy, unfortunately, is going to have to spend a little bit more time here because she is lacking a ladder, and she's thinking it might be here.
I'm not sure. She went in the staircase and came back out of the staircase. I'm not sure why that was. Or maybe she's got a room or two she didn't look at here. Yes, that because there's a bomb wall there. So definitely do not look at this room yet. And another key. Those are nice to have. And another key. All right, so now I mean she's got a little bit more of the bottom segment, a little more of the right segment. There isn't that many more rooms for her to explore here. So compared to a normal level 8, that would be way bigger. This is not too bad a deal.
To answer the question in chat, we do have a Power Braces block on 7. Ladder is arrow blocked, and a level 2 ladder blocked. That is all the blocks we've seen tonight, but that is plenty, I think. As Tabby's going to find a very quick Triforce in level 5.
Alright, and Bommy continuing to look through this level. Now in the sub-segment of the entry segment. And we got something here. It's just another heart container in 8, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, look at that key count on Tabby's side. Not having the any key is not slowing him down.
No, this seed certainly has lots of keys to give to everybody. I mean, I know they were both at points where they were down to 1 key or 0 keys, but they managed to both come back from that pretty quickly. I think maybe Bommy bought 1 key, but that was an investment that really paid off.
Bommy out of 8 finds level 7. If she keeps going here, she's going to find her ladder in short order. But no, it looks like she says she wants to try looking for it in something slightly smaller.
Well, let's see where she goes. Or she's just looking for bombs. I don't know. Oh, she still doesn't have the atlas, so she doesn't know for sure that level 2 is fully ladder blocked. So that's an unfortunate piece of information she does not have.
And with just 2 bombs, it doesn't seem like she's ready to just start bombing blindly in level 2. Meanwhile, Tabby has his final Triforce out of level 3, and he is heading straight for 9 at the Forgotten spot. He'll be there in just a minute.
And Bommy's making good decisions based on the information she has. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the key information that Tabby picked up.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we do not have game music on Tabby's side, but I think we will still switch over to his side once he's in level 9, because we're trying to keep our ears out for something in particular as we're in here. Pedantic, why don't you tell our viewers what it is we're looking and listening for as Tabby's going to head into level 9 here in short order?
When we get to level 9, we're going to be listening for a roar and looking for a door. That roar is the sound of Ganon announcing his presence, either in a room directly above, below, to the left, or to the right of us. And the door we're looking for is the door to Zelda. And that door to Zelda will be, much like the shutter door here, closed until we pick up the Triforce. And if we have the Triforce from killing Ganon, then when we enter the room, we will see the door will start closed and immediately open. This one just opened. we don't yet have the Ganon Triforce, so that is clearly not the path to Zelda. But that's what to keep our eyes out for.
Bommy has gone to level 6 in the search for the ladder that she will need to make any progress in level 2. Unfortunately, she's not going to find it here.
And also, unfortunately, this is such a large level. This is unfortunately not the place to be searching. So Tabby, since he has the silvers already, is going to be able to just jet through level 9 looking for that, again, listening for the roar and looking for that door. But this room does have a shutter, so he's either going to clear it now or make a note of it in his tracker to say, hey, I need to come back here, and that's a possible spot for Zelda.
But that door does open after he takes out those Wizrobes. He's not looking like he wants to leave any room unchecked, as he wants to get through this 54 room level 9 as quickly as he can.
Looks like he's making pretty good time on that. And sometimes Ganon and Zelda... Oh! I believe that is Zelda's room. That door did not open. It's staying shut with all the enemies killed. So now Tabby just has to find Ganon.
As this turnstile room produces options leading both up and down, and Tabby's going to head up first.
At this point, he's just got to cover as much ground as he can. Usually you want to try to find some path that will, let you just keep walking straight so that you can walk between as many rooms as possible, listing.
Bommy has the compass in level 6, but is in dire need of a ladder, is going to keep digging. Unfortunately, that's going to give her a much longer level 6 than Tabby, who saw less than half of it.
I do not remember what room that book was in. Do you?
It was pretty close to the front, and I think she unfortunately missed that room.
Yeah, I think maybe Tabby, just by virtue of not having weapons that or not having a sword at least, led him in a certain path, and that certain path led him to the book. All right, Tabby's having to spend some keys here in 9 to get through, but again, he came in with that stockpile of, I believe, 9 keys, so now is the time to use them.
But quickly down to 6 and another key door if he wants to see these rooms up in the far northwest corner. But that problem goes away as he heads into a staircase and finds an any key.
Randomizer messing with us, putting the item you really need early on all the way in level 9. So now I think we'll see him just open every locked door he can find. Now, this Dig Dogger could be masking the sound of Ganon. That has happened before.
A very smart decision to clear it out, as there could be a bomb spot on the left here, but
if Ganon's to the right, you cannot bomb through that staircase there, so if that was the case, you'd have to walk all the way around.
But I'm not hearing anything, so Ganon's going to continue to elude Tabby a little bit longer as he has to decide which direction he's heading in next, and he's going to hop into this staircase. As he finds not a transport, which he'd probably prefer at this point to keep making progress, but just a wand, and he says he is armed heavily enough that he's not going to need to pick that up.
Yeah, the wand is nice early, but by the time you get to level 9, you really don't need it anymore.
and wouldn't go up against these Wizrobes well at all. So he decides to save the 10 or 12 seconds there and finds another staircase that takes him down to the far northeastern portion of the map.
Well, it can help against Wizrobes a little bit. You can do that thing where you push both buttons at the same time and get more damage. I believe that works on Wizrobes, right? It works on other enemies. I'm not sure why he's... oh, is he clearing these to just go back through the staircase?
I think so. He did not like what he saw in this part.
I guess if I had 2 hearts and I was just trying to go back, I would probably just up an A. Go back to the start of the level.
He might have had another staircase he left behind up here in the northwestern quadrant. But it isn't in this room.
Seems like Ganon is being pretty elusive. I feel like we've covered quite a few rooms. Oh, and Bommy... No. Well, no, there could be an item there. I guess we'll see soon enough. Of course, that Dodongo is just really trolling there. And Bommy finds the red ring in level 6. Again, a very helpful item, but not what she needs. Now, she still has not found the book, though, so she's going to have to continue her search. Unfortunately, she's searching the top half, and we know the items in the bottom half.
But I think she's hit all the spots in the top half. She probably realizes she left the other item behind, so she's going to head for her Triforce now. She may hop back in real quick to find that other item she forgot.
And I think Bommy's still in a really good pace. It's just that Tabby, with a lot of those early decisions, is just on a better pace. Oh, she does have the book? Okay. Chat says that Bommy did pick up the book. Okay, so now she knows she's intentionally leaving. Tabby tried to throw a bomb there. It did not work.
Unless she left some other item behind, she knows her ladder is in level 7.
Looks like Bommy is heading towards the dreaded full clear, where you end up searching all the items in all the levels, and the one you want you find last. I hear a Ganon. Do you hear a Ganon?
I sure do, and he's not in this next room, unfortunately. But Tabby might be able to wheel along the long way, and sure enough, at 1 hour 12 minutes and 5 seconds, here is Ganon.
Alright, this is not a fun room to fight Ganon in. But Tabby has the white sword, the blue ring, and 2 potions. Should not be a problem for him. Although Ganon definitely being rude, continuing to land on Tabby as many times as possible.
And even with a blue ring, that's going to be 2 hearts of damage every time that Ganon plops himself down on our poor hero.
Oh! Ganon wins this round. That's unfortunate for Tabby.
And unfortunately for Tabby, it is a little bit of a walk to get back to Ganon here.
I believe Bommy is in the room with the ladder right now.
I think you're correct. And if she finds the Triforce very quickly here, beelines it for 2 and grabs the Triforce, she could make it to level 9. As Tabby looks like he's decided he needs to at least get a fairy fill, I assume. Maybe grab another set of potions.
I don't know if you can afford the potions with only 50 gold, 50 rupees. We'll see soon enough.
Chat saying the red potion was 58.
Okay, that's not too bad. All right, Bommy is now looking for that Triforce with heightened urgency, as she knows she's got everything she needs and is assuming her competitor does as well.
And she might be thinking that if Tabby had ducked into level 8 sooner, he might have had knowledge of those silver arrows a lot earlier than she did. Which was the case.
My brain just got confused and thought Bommy was next to Zelda because that door wasn't opening. I don't know why Zelda is hanging out level 7.
Tabby back in Ganon's room with almost full health. Is it going to be enough?
During that, Bommy picking up the Triforce from 7. Now only has the Triforce from 2 to get.
Did Tabby have a save before he went into 9, and that's how he has his red potion back?
I wasn't paying enough attention, I guess. Must be.
Tabby bought another potion, chat says.
All right, Ganon dead. Tabby is now just walking his way to Zelda's room. Wait, he did just kill him, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm distrusting my own memory. The Wizrobe saying, hey, you beat up our boss, we're going to take it out on you.
And Tabby, for good measure, fills up his health one more time, just to ensure he can make it all the way to Zelda on this life.
Not many rooms now. Oh, but we got to fight through these Wizrobes. Meanwhile, Bommy is running through this level 2 as fast as possible.
And that is going to do it for Tabby for tonight with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 9 seconds. Let's get your GGs in chat for Tabby.
This was a great race.
A fantastic race and a couple of early decisions to dive swordless into some large dungeons may have been the difference for Tabby tonight, as Bommy has had to wander through a lot of dungeons in the dark.
And the way these dungeons were laid out that made it a really big deal. You know, often it wouldn't have mattered as much.
Meanwhile, Bommy in level 2 finds the compass that's pointing to that segment, is going to run real quick right back to the staircase. She'll have her Triforce in 2 momentarily, and she'll be on her way to level 9 as well.
And we're getting Tabby set up. He should be in the booth with us pretty soon. And we'll be able to ask him questions about how this went. All right, just one more room to that level 2 Triforce. And with that, Bommy now has 8 Triforces and is ready to head to level 9.
Still very impressive work by Bommy here tonight, making it through some definitely difficult rooms of combat fairly effortlessly, as we now have Tabby Orange joining us here in the booth. GG's, Tabby.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think that I'm pretty happy with how that went.
Yeah, you had a couple of quick early finds that really put you on a quick trajectory here. You got those silvers early out of 8 and the book out of 6, which turned out to be an absolutely crucial item to find today, as we had some rather nasty looking dungeon maps.
Yeah, I remember 7 and 8 were kind of weird looking, and that's just what I do. I go into every dungeon, even without anything, just looking around. I think with these, you find a lot of stuff on the floor, even just keys or bomb packs, and I always just kind of look around. And I swear every seed I find something. I always find an item, and like the book is just finding it that early, deep in 6. I'm not sure she would even find it. Like, I think that just really helped, and then just having that for the entire all my dungeon digs really helped. And then yeah, just finding silvers right there on the floor in 8. You know, I had some money. I'd found bow, obviously, on the Armos, and I was like, oh, let me get some arrows. I was like, oh, there's some arrows right here. Perfect.
Yeah, Bommy made many smart choices too, but did not do those early digs of 6 and 8 like you did. So she had a sword earlier, but and I would say in the early game was ahead of you, but did not have that info about where the silvers were, and did not have the atlas to help. So then, as the game progressed, you were able to accelerate more than she was.
Yeah, and I know, like, yeah, 7 and 8 just had that really weird shape on 7. I was just like, oh, what am I? And that just kind of told you where to go. But yeah, if you don't have the map, and I think the map was pretty late in 7 too, if I recall, like where it actually dropped. So yeah, you could be bombing a lot of random spots there.
Well, and even like level 2, you knew that it was ladder blocked.
Yes,
and
yeah.
She could only guess that it was ladder blocked, and wasted a bunch of bombs to prove that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that kind of stuff obviously helps too, and knowing that right away, like, okay, I gotta find the ladder here.
And speaking of finding things, the first 30-some minutes of this seed were not super kind to you, as it did not give you a sword for quite some time. You saw most of the overworld, but it was up in Death Mountain, and the white sword was on the coast. You didn't see either of those, but then you found them both in fairly rapid succession.
Yeah, I knew where the white sword was, and I wasn't gonna go there with 4 hearts. And by the time I got 6 hearts, I think I had already come out of 3. But I was like, let me just kind of finish these checks over here before I come. So I just kind of finished all those checks because, you know, just doing the overworld, you don't need the sword. And especially I had arrows and a red candle at that point. So I was like, I can get around here and just finish these checks and then as soon as I kind of finished all my checks, I found one, but I was like, let me go get the white sword, and then I'll go back here and get it. And then I think at that point I had every dungeon except 7. And yeah, I found the power bracelet and the recorder in 1, I think. And then I just went right to the power bracelet spots before going up to Death Mountain. I was like, oh, maybe I don't even have to go to Death Mountain, and it worked out, so.
Sure enough, as Bommy is making very quick work of traversing this level 9.
Yeah, hopefully she can do a little better with Ganon than I did. that was not kind to me.
It is always rough to find out Ganon is in a Chevy room, and boy, he did not go easy on you. He landed on you like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah, I should have been safe and just gone in the middle. But I was like, I'm not even gonna try this with 3 hearts, even though I have blue ring. I'm like, I'm out of here. Let me go buy another potion and just come on back my full arsenal, which I needed. So I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get the potion coming back.
So, Tabby, you are now 2-0 in the group stage, and barring some sort of weird tiebreak situation, which we have seen once in this tournament where we had 3 runners finish 2-0 in brackets. But barring that situation, you'll automatically be moving on to the bracket stage of the Rookie Rumble. Tell us what you're thinking of, or what you might be doing in preparation, as the competition very soon will become much tougher.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing the seeds. I try to play one every day. So whether it's kind of the nightly races, or I'll even play a seed that, somebody else's race seed. If I don't know the times and it didn't watch, I'll just play that seed, and then I like to play the races or something else so I can kind of compare my time, and not just compare my time, but watch the video of other people to see what they did. Like, I think that's what really has helped me prepare for this, is these races, not just looking at other people's times, but watching Sci-Town, watching Chester watching JSR like in these races, and what are they doing? Like, how do they? It's not just that they finish like 15 minutes ahead of me. Like, how do they do that, right? So, I think that's helped me kind of improve and narrow the gap and really see like where you can get better.
And Bommy has now defeated Ganon.
Nice.
And I think came at Ganon actually from a different direction than you did. And we'll see how soon she finds the princess.
Oh, okay. Still has to find the princess. Yeah.
So those races you compete in, the nightly races, just note to the audience, pretty much if you want to be in here and race with Tabby, those are all open to the public. Just join us in the Z1 Randomizer Discord, and you'll find all the instructions on how to get in those races.
Absolutely.
And most of those races have been running the Rookie Rumble flag, so you can get the same experience that you've been watching here tonight. As Bommy is actually heading in the right direction to find Zelda, and finishes up with a time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 2 seconds. Let's get some GGs in chat for Bommy for finishing this one up.
Very impressive time by both runners.
Absolutely, considering there were a couple of crucial puzzles to solve in tonight's seed. And who wants to go digging into level 7 for a ladder? I know I don't.
It's never 7 except when it's 7. That's the rule.
I feel like lately it has been 7, but I just went into 7 because I had to find the Triforce and kind of ended up there. Like, if the Triforce was early, I might have, bailed and tried somewhere else first. So I kind of got fortunate there. I mean, I kind of eliminated a lot of the spots, but I definitely still had like some outstanding spots to go before when I got to 7. So,
as we will shortly have Bommy joining us here in the booth, so we can get her comments.
Welcome, Bommy.
Wow, GG, Tabby. Oh.
Thanks, Bommy. GG.
You both put in a very good job, Bommy. Tabby got an advantage early in the race because he dived swordlessly into 6 and 8 and managed to pick up the book and the silvers basically within the first 25 minutes of the game.
Courageous.
So that gave him the knowledge advantage. With the book, obviously, it let him do a little bit more efficient pathing through the levels than you. But then because he had the silvers, he knew he didn't need to look for items. So you did an extremely good job, just as well, but you had to clear more rooms.
Oh, thank you. I know I made a lot of mental mistakes, but I was pretty happy with the seed. And yeah, I know Tabby's a tough opponent, so I'm happy with the competition.
We were all impressed by both of you. This is a really good match to watch.
And hey, Bommy, you are still at 1-1, so you are not out of this yet. You do have another race ahead of you as you try to clinch a spot in the bracket stage. Setting aside, of course, the LCQ race this Saturday night, what are your thoughts as you'll be heading into a race that could clinch you a spot in the brackets?
Oh, just hoping to play it clean. Not make any huge mental mistakes, but I'm really happy with this first tournament. This first time I've ever done anything like this, and everyone's been so positive and welcoming, and it's been really fun. I'm trying to get my heart rate down still.
You wouldn't know this is your first tournament from some of the impressive play that we have seen here tonight. Any other words from either of our runners tonight before we wrap things up?
No, just GG again, Bommy, and maybe we'll get a chance to race again later in brackets. You never know.
That's true, and we both have orange kitties in our Discord profile pictures, so
Yes,
could
ask me
happen.
about my orange kitty. I will talk all day about that.
I love it. GG.
Yeah, and thanks, Nick and Potato, for doing this. Maybe I'll see either of you in brackets too.
Well, you'll
Both of
definitely
tournament as well. So
definitely
very
see Potato
possible.
in there. Potato going 3-0 in his races. My record going the opposite way, but I still have high hopes for the LCQ, which will be this Saturday night.
Yeah, Nick, your record is not indicative of your skill. You drew a really tough group. I'd say you drew like 3 of the toughest runners in this tournament. So I think you could easily have a much better record if you had kind of drawn differently. So I like your chances in the LCQ race.
Well, it just goes to show you that anything can happen in this Rookie Rumble tournament. We've had some impressive victories and some stunning upsets as well. There's still plenty more Z1R racing action coming at you. Right now, over on SpeedGaming 3, we have another race in progress. That's going to do it for us tonight here in SpeedGaming 2. Our big thanks going out to SpeedGaming for the restream. Extra big thanks to our tracker tonight, Smilefires, to both our runners for a terrific race. I'm Nick Has a Game alongside Pedantic Potato.
And go ahead.
Go, take it home.
I was going to say, so go follow the runners, go follow us commentators. Thank you for tracking Smilefires, and we'll see you all at the next game. Good night.
Good night, everyone.